I'm rolling with George again. This is our 6th round on the channel. He is a blue belt at the academy. I have one of his first rolls. If you look back in the description, you can see one of his first rolls with me a couple of years ago. It's pretty funny. He's really good-natured about it. But, you know, he's gotten a lot better since then. He's earned his blue belt. And now I'm letting him start inside control. Also, I always mention it at the end of the video, but if you find value in my content and you want to help support the channel, I have a X-Marshall link in the description. Anything you buy through that link from their site is 15% off if you use code Jits over 50, and they got a lot of great gear. Or you could just buy me a coffee. You know, both links are in the description. So, as you can see, George is losing control of me here because I was able to sink lower and lower. He wasn't wrapping his legs around me properly to prevent that. His right leg was completely disengaged most of the time, so it allowed me to get up and spin out of it. So here he thought I wanted to start in side control, but I just wanted to reset to the position that he had. As you can see, I'm using 2-on-1, and I'm killing his other leg by leaning on it with my left shoulder. I'm just trying to literally just try to pull myself up. Think of it as climbing the person sideways. Here I'm trying to keep his knees squeezed between my legs and then flatten him out from one side or the other. But here he's trying to do head and arm control and look for a butterfly sweep, which wasn't a bad idea. As you could see, how did I pass the guard? By going 2-on-1. That was a really interesting pass. That was experimental, the way I stepped over his body initially. See how I put my left arm to his hip? That's going to prevent his hip, prevent his knees from coming back. That was cool. He forced me to do something higher level than a basic movement, so I had to run back around the north-south and go to the other side to maintain side control. So you can always go around the top of the person's head with your hips and just spin. Right from here, I could spin to his back. But I'm looking to compress his left arm into his chest for like a howdy choke, and he knows it, so he was defending. Here he should just cut my arm and prevent it from going around his neck. He's giving me something that's going to give me a great deal of control. As you can see, I have my knee near his hip. Why? So he can't spin his legs back in. And then when he did a hip bump, I went to mount. As you can see, my mount is very transitional. I don't try to hold it. I don't try to do an unescapable pin. What I really want is for him to move around and for me to transition, because that is where you're going to open up the effortless submissions. If you want to mount somebody and just pin them down and rip Americana eventually because you're bigger and stronger, or, you know, maybe you just have good pressure, that's cool. I'm not putting it down. I would prefer to just transition into a submission effortlessly. That's what feels good to me. But we all have different tastes and different styles. Some styles are more cerebral, some are more athletically based, and some are a combination of both. So here I'm letting him start over, inside control. You should always do this with you know, lesser belts. I mean, I don't want to do this with a black belt because I'll probably never get out, and neither one of us will get a lot out of it. But if I do it with George, I can work on my escapes. Because if I could escape from George, I could definitely escape from an old lady on the subway. So here he's trying to, I don't know, pick me up into a seatbelt. So I just prevented that twice by staying heavy on my left side. I don't want him to pick me up. So now again, I'm starting to slither out. As you can see, his right leg isn't really doing anything. It's not acting as a wedge. Well, it is now, actually. I'm eating my words. And I was able to spin out. So in no-gi, escapes are easier, and then it ends up being in a stand-up game. So here I just let him pass. He made a joke about it. I basically let him go to my back. And I escaped again, and now we're resetting. Look how easy it was for me to bring my leg back in. So there's a lot of guard retention technique that George has to work on. His guard passing isn't bad, even though we're not working on that right now. Try not to leave your foot forward like that, the way George had his left foot forward. It's very easy to exploit. You want to control his legs without letting them get entangled into your legs. Also, this is an 8-minute round, as usual. You know, I've seen videos where guys are posting rounds 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, I really don't think that's gonna, unless you're brand new, that is no amount of time. So there I just pushed him back in like a Tai Chi style arm control push. So I had like arm drag control, but when he resisted, I just pushed him back. So as soon as I passed his guard, I went with my right wrist to his hip to prevent him from regaining and helping me get the pass. And then I solidified it by replacing my right hand with my right leg. And now I just simply climbed over to mount. See, he hip bumped me, and I used that as an excuse to climb higher into mount. Because when he hip bumps, he has to land on his side. So there I just spun to the back. I have like a Kimura grip. And I'm gonna look to pick him up. This is what he was trying to do to me, but I'm doing it properly. I have put my knees under his back as a wedge. I have his left arm trapped with the right underhook. And now, see, I just took it. I have his left arm. He can't control that. And I already have it's gonna be really hard to stop my right arm coming under the chin there. As you can see, I pushed him up a little bit further so he didn't sink out of it. And now I'm gonna take my right hand and put it next to my ear, and that finishes the choke. So if you're not familiar, yes, there is a one-handed rear naked choke. And here I'm gonna just quickly demonstrate it on George. So yeah, check out, I'm gonna put the links in the description of George's prior rounds, especially his first round as a white belt. And you can see, you know, how far he's come. Again, you didn't see his strength, which is his guard passing, because I was letting him start past the guard. But it allowed both of us to work on other things and make our roles more interesting. But thank you for watching. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.